Hello there. This is an astrological forecast for Aquarius for 2012. And this also applies if you have an Aquarius ascendant. Well, it's that year. It's finally come round. And I'm not surprised there's been many prophecies because we've got huge happenings in the stars during this year. 3 big planets changing signs: Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune. We've got Venus, the planet of love and money, going retrograde this year. We've got Mars, the planet that rules your passions, your energy, your achieving, your goals. That's also going retrograde this year. So much is happening and we're all going to have to be probably more adaptable than we maybe like to be. So for you, Aquarius, let's start out with Mars, because Mars is the first planet to do something, which is to go retrograde on January the 24th until April the 14th. And it's retrograde in your house, your 8th house of joint finances. So wherever Mars goes retrograde, it slows down the energies of that house to allow you to reevaluate what you've been doing. So if you've got some joint ventures, you may need to back off a little bit so that you can see, well, am I putting too much energy? Am I paying for too many things? Am I financing too many things? Have I got myself overextended? Am I putting too much energy into paying off debts? Is there something I can sell? Is there something I can invest in? What am I putting my energy into, especially connected with your finances? If there are any situations that need to get resolved, maybe you've been taken advantage of, maybe you're owed money. All these situations, maybe there's an inheritance that you should have got. Maybe there's a grant or a scholarship, or maybe some immigration situation outstanding. All these things come up for reevaluation about where you're putting your energy so that you can plan and research a course of action during the retrograde and then move forward when it goes direct after April the 14th. So you really need to look at what you've got yourself into financially and where you maybe need to make some changes so that when it goes direct, you feel as though you're achieving more in that financial area of your life. As well, we've got Neptune changing sign on February the 4th. So Neptune moving out of your first house, which is probably going to be a relief for some of you because I think you felt confused and directionless and not sure where the hell you're going. So Neptune now is moving into your second house. So this is going to mean probably it's there until 2025. So it's a long transit. There could well be a change in attitude for you about material things, about what you really value anymore. There could be some confusions with finances. You're going to have to be very clear about any kind of financial agreements or arrangements that you get into. You're also going to have to be careful about any scams or any kind of wonderful sounding financial deals or businesses that you may be asked to get involved with. You'll have to be very careful about what you get involved with. If it doesn't cost you anything to get involved, then it might be all right. Although with the Mars retrograde, you're going to have to watch where you're putting your energy into financially, especially for the first 4 months of the year. But nonetheless, as long as it doesn't cost you much, then that Neptune could work in your favour. But if you're going to invest big sums of money, then you're going to have to be very careful about what you invest it in and make sure you've taken some real specialist advice before you put your money in. You shouldn't gamble unless you can afford to lose. It's very good for anything earning money in any of the creative fields. So music, art, sculpture, even anything in television, media, video, all those fields would be well aspected with that Neptune in your second, making money through all the creative fields. Venus goes retrograde. Venus, the planet that rules your love and your finances, between May the 15th and June the 27th. And it's retrograde in your 5th house, Aquarius, the 5th house of marriage, of children, of romance, of creativity. So it's very possible you could get remarried during this time. You could reconcile if you've been divorced or separated. You could come together again. Or a relationship that's separated, you may well reconcile. Somebody from your past could come back into your life. If you get into a new relationship during this time, go very slowly because during a Venus retrograde, we don't tend to see the person clearly enough. You also may find that during this time, Venus could bring a little windfall in as well. A little bit of money coming in quite unexpectedly from something that you'd done a long time ago, and it just comes back in. It's a good time for renegotiating a deal as well. It's a very good time for buying up bargains on eBay or any of those websites, or going to a garage sale or boot sale, whatever you call it, wherever you live, a flea market, and you might pick up some real bargains. So that would be a very good thing for you to do during this retrograde in your 5th house. As well, it's a time when people don't really know the value of things. So if you want to get rid of some stocks and shares that you've got, because that's 5th house stuff, you might be able to sell it at a very good price during the retrograde. Just don't go out and buy expensive things during the retrograde yourself. Just keep that in mind. We've got, and of course, if you resolve all your romantic and your financial situations during the retrograde, then when it goes direct after June the 27th, then you're much freer and easier to move ahead in your romantic and financial life. Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, expansion, abundance in your 4th house until the 12th of June. So that could mean a move for you, a move overseas, a change of home, a change of scenery, expanding where you live, expanding your family in one way or another. More people around you, more, but it could also mean you going to business for yourself and running a home-based business during this time as well, and starting it and expanding it. After June the 12th and thereafter for another year, we've got Jupiter coming into your 5th house of romance. So for those of you looking to get married or have a proposal, could well happen the last 6 months of the year. A new romance could happen. A new business could happen for you. You could expand your business. So, and also a wonderful time for anything creative, for doing acting, for drama, for working with children. All these things well aspected with that Jupiter transit of your 5th house, and also most importantly a time to remember to enjoy yourself and have fun. Just make sure you are not over speculating. Really be careful with gambling and speculation. As long as you do that, the rest should be just fine. And finally, we've got Saturn. Saturn in your 9th house until October the 5th. So good time for studying, for serious study. Also for studying metaphysics and karma and reincarnation and the meaning of life and why you're here, and philosophy. After that, on October the 5th, it changes into your 10th house, where it will stay until October of 2015. So this is going to be a time where you could get recognition in your workplace, especially if you've been working towards some goals very seriously and very assiduously. If you've been preparing well, then this could be a very rewarding time for you. Otherwise, it could be a new start and a change of career, possibly a loss of career, but then new projects coming in, but you're having to build yourself up again, possibly from the beginning into a new professional direction. So there's going to be a lot happening financially, inside yourself. Be careful with contracts, but certainly a marriage proposal, some romance, a possible move, career changes, recognition, all happening for you this year, Aquarius. So I wish you a great year. You might want to have a reading that shows what in your chart, what the energies are for 2012 and how you can make best use of them. You might want to have a reading for $25 that I'll answer in an email of up to 150 words. Whatever happens, I'd be delighted to hear from you. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.